Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this afternoon's game drive. Welcome to Safari Live. I'm in Maasai Mara, and my name is Isaac Rotich, and on camera I have J. Andre, and we are already at the beautiful Mara River. Remember, this is a Valentine's Day, and I'm already here, and there are two or more animals that are not having a very good time. You can tell why. The river is very, very, very low. This is the lowest I've ever seen it, and I think the crocodiles and the hippos are not having a very good Valentine. If it continues like this, the next Valentine won't be a Valentine for them. Or look at that, those beautiful Egyptian geese flying there. It won't be a beautiful, Valentine for them. Remember, this Mara River is the source of livelihood to so many animals. If it dries, it would be a catastrophe here in the Maasai Mara, because all animals, especially hippos and crocodiles, will die. Sorry to start on a sad note, but this is the reality facing us here in the Maasai Mara. That is a Nile crocodile. He's facing away. He looks like he's chilled out. I don't know if he knows what is coming if the river continues to be low like this. The famous Nile crocodile are to be found along the Mara River that stretches about 150 kilometers from source to where it goes into Tanzania. Further down, we have, some birds. Yes, as I stake out this point, let me send you to Trish, who's got some beautiful lions.
Hello, regular viewers. How are you? I hope you are all well. It is me, Trishala, and I've got Darby on camera with me. Yes, I do. And we have the wonderful Avoca male that we saw yesterday in the morning with us again, and he still seems to be a bit restless. He's been walking up and down the roads, and he's just kind of plonked himself down now, which I'm quite thankful for, because I've had to bundu bash through the bushes for a little bit. It's actually quite tiring. But he's contact calling every now and then. Actually, let's just listen to the birds that are quite shouting at him. They're not happy at all that he's around. Let's just have a listen. They have been going at him with this noise for as long as we've been sitting here. They just can't seem to get over it. Well, you'd expect that. He is the apex predator here. Look at how handsome he is. Now, he is not looking... I remember yesterday when we were with you, we saw the wounds on his head, and we saw that he was limping, and he had a bit of a swelling on his left back leg. And he doesn't look particularly much healthier. It doesn't look like he's eaten since yesterday. But yesterday, remember, he had a bit of a rotund belly, but it wasn't very big. So it looked like he had taken maybe something small to keep him going. But the wound on his head is quite deep, and it looks like a hole, basically. But like I said before, these are hardy animals, and he will get through it. He just looks a bit restless. Is that Ravinda?
Linda.
Oh, Linda. See, I'm getting used to your names now. I know who comments and who asks questions. But yes, you can actually hear them saying, lion, 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 lion. And of course, they say it in a South African accent. Lion, lion. You can see how long that grass is. If it weren't for his tail that's swishing up and down, I would have never known that he was there. And you can see that prominent black end of the tail that kind of makes him stand out a bit more. Using it to swat the flies. course, when I talk about it, he decides not to show it to us. Now you can hear... Ooh. Sorry, guys. He was actually just contact calling, but there's a vehicle with us in the sighting at the moment, and you might have only heard that. But I'm going to stick around with him a little longer. In the meantime, let's go to Steve, who has Princess Tlalamba.
Welcome back, everybody. And, well, there she is. There she is. She has dropped her daycare on the floor. And, well, this is the best view that we can get of her at the moment. So it is very windy. She's been trying to figure out what's trying to sneak up on her, because in this wind there could be potentially anything really coming through to try and steal the carcass from her. So she's basically got her back to the wind. She keeps looking in this direction, quite sort of nervous. But now she's started eating. So hopefully she will, after a period of time, maybe try to take that carcass back up the tree. And that will be a good idea for her. But she's constantly looking around. Welcome once again to everybody. As you know, my name is Steve, joined by Senzo on camera. And we'd love to hear from you this afternoon on hashtag Safari Live, or throw your questions in on the YouTube chat stream. Let us know what you'd like to talk about. Kevin, it is another cat today. I'm quite excited actually, because this morning I was trying quite hard to find lions that were hunting around Ingwe Alley, where we found that male lion a little while ago. And he's up and down, up and down. We were following him for a little bit, and, well, he's as confused as I was this morning trying to track them down. But they're definitely there somewhere, and I've got a strong feeling that he's going to lead Shushala to the rest of the pride, who probably has got some form of a kill. I don't think they've popped out anywhere. They're in the block there somewhere. So we decided to leave her with the lions and then to come back over here to Princess Tlalamba, who is very interested in us. She keeps looking over here, but I think it's mainly to do with the wind. She's a little bit nervous, of course. You do get nervous. She is looking lovely, Emma. She is a beautiful, beautiful young lady. I've put in a lot of effort over the last few days, and, well, we were rewarded last night and again this morning, and once again today. She is turning out to be the star of the show, taking after her cousin, Hosanna himself. Well, as she looks back at the camera to all of us, she is sending her heartfelt Valentine's Day wishes to all of you across the world, wherever you may be. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And on that note, let's go over to possibly a Valentine for the little Tlalamba in the Mara with a big male leopard.
We got a male, and this is one of the largest males I have always known to be in the Mara Triangle. And my name is David, and with me on camera is Archie. Hi, Archie. Jambo, jambo. And welcome to our regular viewers after we had some wonderful session with the kids. But also the kids were very lucky to have seen this leopard. Now, I got a feeling this leopard is hunting. And I think he is stalking. Look at his body language. Look at his posture. And you can tell, without any doubt, he is waiting for something. He has been there for the last 10 minutes in that particular position. He hasn't moved, and the only thing that is moving is the grass. This particular male is called a shepherd tree leopard. I think this is the fourth time I've seen it this year. And for me and my colleagues, and especially Isaac, this is wonderful news. There he goes, there he goes. Give it a chance, give it a chance. And he missed. Did you see that? He has been waiting for a warthog, and I do not know what happened there. And he missed the warthog, came out of its barrel, and wow, he just missed it. How insane is that? Yes, that's really crazy. He has been very patient, and as I just told you, ladies and gentlemen, he was talking what I could not see, what I did not know. I'm not sure he has given up. My reason is true. How cool seeing a leopard in the Mara and a male, and to see it on a hunt, it is extremely special. That is really insane. It's just as I told you a few seconds ago, what I thought he was doing. He was stalking, he was looking, he was in that position for whole 10 minutes. And it could be wonderful if we could catch more audience on this. How cool was that, eh? He can't believe it that he has missed. Hello, and jambo, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mara Triangle. We are in a country called Kenya, and we've got a leopard there that is on the run, and I think this leopard here wants to hunt. It's a male leopard, and he just missed a warthog by a whisker a few seconds ago. And I think what he has done, he has seen where that warthog has gone, and what we need to do is just also try and keep and catch up with it and see if we'll be lucky and see where exactly he is going. So let's just follow it slowly, and I will be introducing myself as we do that. My name is David, and on camera is Archie. So let's just find out where he has gone. He's such a big male, and I can see him way out there on the road, and what he's doing is concentrating and looking at that warthog that he just missed by a whisker. Now, this area is full of rocks and holes. I have to be very careful how I go here. So we're going to first, let's still go closer to it, because he's not very skittish, and I've known this leopard for quite some time. He's very friendly. Just hold on 1 minute. The comms could have an issue there. Just let me get to the road, and we'll get to a better position where we can see him and find out exactly what he wants to do after having missed that hunt. Just hold on 1 second, everybody. Let's keep holding on. Do you want me to go up here? Oops. We may have to stop here. He's right there on the right, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see him there? So he's moving towards the big road now. And if you look carefully, he's such a huge male. And maybe you want to take Termite Mound there as a vantage point. Very exciting. Bob, a great question. I apologize for having missed your question earlier. You were asking how old he is. You might hear some little noise from another car to our left. But I tell you, Bob, I have no idea how old he is. We rarely see him, and I think the whole of last year, I only saw him 2 times. So I have no idea how old he could be, but I think he's a fully grown male, and I would guess he's definitely over 8 years old. Well, the last time I saw him closely and I looked at his nose, he did not have any pink on his nose, so assuming he's definitely over 5 or 6. But Bob, I can tell you for a fact, he's a male, and he's fully grown, and he is an adult. So what I think he's doing, he's still looking at that warthog that he missed, and most likely he is going to find it again, and maybe start or lay a new strategy to bring down. Vicky, thank you very much for your comment, and you say it's truly gorgeous. And personally, for me and Archie, to see a leopard in the Mara is always wonderful. Thank you, Vicky. It's truly gorgeous. And look at the position he has taken. Definitely, he has one advantage to see where he wants. Kellen, you're asking whether he has a name. Very good. You might have missed me before that, Kellen. And we call him the shepherd tree leopard. Shepherd tree. Particular pride of lions that live here that we call the solitary pride. Now, what would happen is you could get 2-3 different cats. So long as they're different species, they could share the same territory, but not cats of the same species. Now, what he is doing earlier when you were watching him, he was just pausing and waiting for that warthog to come. And my apologies if you had, technical issues and you might have missed me a little bit. And sorry, there's another vehicle moving out of the setting. And he's just walking now towards the road. And for us to bring you such wonderful sightings from Africa, it's pretty special. And once in a while, we'll have a few gremlins here and there. But ideally, at the end of it all, we usually come out winning. So he's moving up a little bit. Jackson, thank you very much. And I think being a Valentine Day and maybe being the bush, this is, I would say, such a very special gift for me, seeing a leopard on a Valentine Day. That's very true. Thank you very much. That's a great comment. And you can see the communication between his head, or his brain rather, and his tail. That's a lot of talking. And the time leopards move their tails like that, they're always telling a lot. And sometimes you can just read its body language or its brain by seeing the movement of the tail. He'll keep talking, he'll keep looking, and once he thinks he's done, he is going to put his tail down in what I call a game over. So what I want to do is to move up a little bit and see whether they can go forward. And I'll just very quickly say hi to my friend. So let's find out whether he's crossing the road and he's moving up, but he is still focused on that warthog. He's not giving up yet, because we have a joke here that warthog got very bad memories. And when we want to be playful to our friends, we'll always tell them, you have a bad memory like a warthog, because what a warthog will do will be stalked, and once it is it's scared by something, it runs away, then it stops again and it forgets there was some danger behind it. So maybe this leopard knows that this warthog is not very smart and he's going to forget and then maybe catch it. And there he is again. How beautiful, how insane this is. It's just so wonderful to see it hunt like this, and hopefully he's going to catch some dinner for himself. Sure. Good question. And you're asking whether I feel he is stalking me. I do not think so, because I don't think I have that very sweet meat. And because I have read what they call a Maasai Shuka, because today's Valentine, Joel, I'll be request him to spare me today, because if he gets me, I can tell you, you'll not have a chance to see him again. I am the only person who spots leopards in the whole of Maasai Mara. And you can ask Isaac, and Isaac will tell you, not even James Henry. I'm the only person who sees leopards here. Could that be true, M? Well, ideally not, but on Valentine's Day, I'd want himself to get some pork chops and maybe not any steak for me. Now let's find out if... Is he still there or he's gone, Archie? We're trying to find out. Yeah, he's still there. He hasn't given up and he's still hoping to get himself the pork chops on Valentine's. Look at him again. Now, one thing that is important to the leopards, they are always very, very patient. Because look at him, what he is seeing, we can't see. Maria, thank you very much. Wonderful comment on a Valentine Day, and happy Valentine, Maria. Very beautiful. I mean, it's just wonderful. I mean, I've seen many leopards, and especially for the time I stayed in Juba, and of course in other parts of Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, Zimbabwe. But for us to see a leopard, Maria, in Kenya, it's always very special. See the movement of his tail there, Maria, is still saying the game on. So you remember I said earlier, if the tail goes down, boom, on one side, it's always game over. So as it is now, game on. And that tail, yes, it's just going wild, and there's a lot of message that he is passing there, that I'm not giving up, and hopefully I'll be able to get some pork chops for myself on a Valentine. Not sure that he has, a girlfriend, because at the beginning of this year, exactly on the very first day of January, we saw him mating with another unknown female, a female that I had not seen before. And we are assuming that most likely that female conceived. And if it did, maybe come next month, towards the end of next month, we might be seeing some cub or some cubs from that particular female. Most likely they're still friends, and he might be trying to get some pork chops to take to her. Who knows? A Valentine's Day could be a big day. Hopefully the animals might also behave like human beings, but I highly doubt they have an idea what today or what day this is. He almost really got to catch that pig, but he missed by a whisker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, the female he was mating with was a known female to us, a female we have not seen. And apparently, since the day that we saw him mate, or saw the mate, with nobody else, not myself, not Isaac, and not any of our friends that we work so very close with, nobody have seen that particular male again. How cool, ladies and gentlemen, was that? Wasn't that wonderful? To see a male leopard hunting on a Valentine's Day. We want to thank you very, very much. And on behalf of myself, David, and my camera operator, Archie, thank you very much. Well, keep an eye, keep looking for more notifications, because we might surprise you again in the very near future, and you may never know. Once more, thank you for watching, and you can keep following us on the YouTube as usual. Many thanks, and from all of us, goodbye for now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we continue watching this lovely male leopard that is called the shepherd tree leopard, because it loves to climb the trees that we call shepherd trees. Sometimes we also call them torchwood trees. And what happened? He was trying to hunt a pig, a warthog of some sort, and we stayed there for quite some time. We didn't know what he was watching, but exactly he knew what he's watching. Well, I'll stick with my male leopard here, and I think you'd be very happy also to see the princess of Jumatalamba, and I guess she is still with Vova.
Yes, well, David, how incredible it is that you are following a male leopard in the Mara. I find that very, very special. Gigi seems to be developing his leopard juju, and well, hopefully he gets to get the shepherd's tree male catching something. Well, Talamba's already caught something yesterday, and it is a daker. I still haven't really had a proper look at it. As you can see, she's quite well hidden in the long grass here, and well, the leaves and the trees are blowing, and this is the best view we are going to get of her. But that's okay. We are with the beautiful princess, and she's busy using the side of her teeth to chomp and to break probably some skin or some sinew so she can access different parts. It's the teeth on the side of leopards, the carnassial shear, the teeth that define carnivores. They're kind of where our molars and premolars are. They've got these very sharp side-cutting teeth for doing exactly that. But I doubt we'd be able to find her if we didn't know where she was. It's incredible how camouflaged these cats can actually be. How many times do we drive past them on safari? Way more often. Seenak, you enjoyed the sights this morning. So did I. It was so special seeing her up in the tree. It's one of the things in the Sabi Sands that people come from all over the world to view leopards in their characteristic fashion of sort of posing in big marula trees. And, well, Tlamba has got it down. She has definitely got her pose down. She was showing us this morning with her claws in front of her, going, look at me. I'm just the cutest thing in the whole wide world. Okay, well, very good news. Isaac is busy up in the Mara, and he's found an animal we don't often get to put on camera.
Welcome again, and here we have one of the most rarest, most endangered animal, the famous black rhino. We are so lucky to have seen these guys from quite a distance. She comes she's not only alone but together with a calf. How wonderful is this? One of those days that you wish it would happen more often. This is the famous black rhino, and I'm so chuffed to have found this guy for you. For you. You can tell she's just stayed still. I'm sure she's listening to us. They have very good sense of smell and hearing, and they are listening to us. I'm sure they cannot see me, but they can hear me. They're quite a distance, and this is a pristine place. A place where anybody would like to live here. You can see the background there. It's a very beautiful place. Very few people come here because it's very soggy and mushy, and we just happen to be lucky to see them from a distance. And luckily, there is a track that almost comes to where they are. So we are very, very fortunate to see a mother and a calf. Things are well. Things are good. I'm so excited. Please remember to join me on conversation on hashtag Safari Life, or you can watch me on YouTube live stream. I'm here with this beautiful creature. I haven't seen one in quite a while, and so I'm so happy. Lorena, thank you for your comment. They are wonderful creatures. It is rather sad that there are only less than 7,000 left in the whole world, of these beautiful black rhinos. It's sad, to know that there are only that many remaining. Yeah, she's very calm, very, comfortable with us, not going anywhere. She's just listening. The light is not as good, but if you look at her, you can see that she's got a watermark, so she's been lying or wallowing. They do apply mud on the skins, which helps reduce the glare of light onto their skin, and also acts like insect repellent. And I think that's what she was doing. I can see sorry, some insects are going to my nose. She was lying down low. That's why she's got that watermark. You can tell she's still rather sleepy. She's not moving. I don't know if I got your name, but is it Kayleen? How long are rhinos pregnant for? It's around 14 to 16 months. It's rather a long time. Yeah, Kayleen. I think I got your name right. They are pregnant for about 14 to 16 months. And it's rather a very long time to carry a baby. And since they are very solitary, like you can tell, the black rhino, that's why they're very vulnerable. When poachers go for them, it's very easy to go for them because they're all by themselves. And also, big packs of hyenas and big prides of lion can outmaneuver a mother like this one and take a young one. That's why it is very hard for their numbers to just grow. They have been, they're facing lots of difficulties, these beautiful creatures: habitat loss, poaching, predation, disease. So, it's an animal that is under lots of threats. But we are very grateful that here, where we are, they're doing okay. They're doing a comeback. I can't say we have enough. That is a word that maybe somebody else might have to say after I'm gone. We don't have enough. We need many more of these beautiful creatures. Nobody cheats you that this animal is docile, or you can go there closer to it. This is a very dangerous and a very fast animal. This female, I think she's close to a ton in weight and can catch top speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour. That is much faster than any one of human beings. So you don't want to be too close to her, and especially when she's got a calf. Yes, we're talking about you. You've got a beautiful horn. Look at that. Yes, she's very healthy. Now she's turning. I think she can hear me more. Their eyesight is not as good. Oh, but the little guy is much more comfortable. He's gone down. Yeah. This beautiful animal. Yes, this beautiful animal, actually, the first one that appeared here in the conservancy was about maybe around 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I think. And I was here as a guide, and we were very, puzzled and confused of where it came from. But very much like any other animal, they can sense where there's safety, where there's food. And we think the first one, she was called Mary. She moved from northern Serengeti and found refuge here. And I remember she didn't have a companion for a very long time. She ended up following an eland, and she would follow this bull eland, almost every other day, and for a very long time, almost up to almost 1 year. Then out of the blue, some guides saw her mating with a male. We don't know where the male came from. And since then, it's been a long story. This is how they just appeared from nowhere. And that means, there is great care being taken, of this great area. Everybody's taking care of this area. That's why, they are here. Yeah, she's very calm, and I'm very happy for her. I don't want her to, change her behavior at all. Lego pizza. I had the word food. Could you repeat the question, please? Yeah, could you come back with the question, please? Lego pizza, if I got your name right. What is rhino's favorite food? In general, they are browsers. And it has been known, for them to eat up to 200 different species of browse. By that, I mean leaves. And in the Mara, we do have almost more than that amount. And that's why they are found here. So I won't tell you a specific bush, but I will generalize they just like browse. I would like to tell you that they like a specific browse. They like everything. Like where they are, there is certain type of bush. They call it Solanum encanum, Sodom apple, that area, and I think that's what they came for here. But generally they like browse, and it's all over here. So I won't say a specific one. I think you can tell the behavior has changed, and either they smelt me, or I rose my voice, and so she heard me, and you can tell how focused they are towards me. That is a body language that I can read. Tells me that I know you are there, Isaac, and please don't you dare come this way, because I've got a horn and I can do some damage on this Valentine's Day, and I don't want to do that. Okay, I understand you. I won't come that way. Look at that. It's very beautiful. It's not always that you see a mother with a beautiful calf like this. So I must say, this is a special Valentine's Day for me, and I'm content. It can end now. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yes. She is really listening to what I'm saying. It is always to see these huge patch dams here in the Mara, because cherry is a phenomenal. Yes, it is phenomenal, wonderful. Yeah, it's always, like I was saying, it's beautiful to see these beautiful creatures, because for a long time they didn't exist here, but with the habitat coming back, they're coming back, and it's all beautiful. Yeah, we have quite a handful over here, and I'm hoping that in the years to come we will have more. I'm hoping that she's gonna move. Chad, you asked me if the babies go forward or behind their mothers. Over here they go behind the white rhino because it's more of a plains animal. It feeds on grass. The young one goes in front, and with the black rhino, the young one goes behind because it's very bushy. The mother wants to protect everything, so she's always in front. Look at that, beautiful side profile. Yeah, it's beautiful. She looks very, very healthy, according to me. Yes, while I sit here, because I don't think I want to leave quite soon, let me tell you to Steve, who's got a beautiful spotted one.
Yes, well, thanks, Isaac. Rhinos are always very special to see, and, well, indeed, we are with something far cuter than your black rhino. But, well, Kalamba has not moved. She is still deep in the thickets there, busy eating her dacre. And all I can really say is that it wasn't a fully grown dacre. But, I mean, dacres can get up to close to 40 pounds at full weight. So if she had a small one, maybe 20 odd pounds, it's 25 pounds. There's still a lot of meat for a small leopard like that. So she's going to be well fed for the next couple of days, as long as Tundi doesn't come along and steal it. Because we know that sometimes can happen. Well, she's gotten to the bones now. I can hear it crunching. And I think it's a bit too windy to hear, but she's busy crunching at some of the bones. And on a small dacre like that, there's a good chance with her teeth she'll be able to eat majority of the animal, barring maybe some of the harder leg bones, the spine, and maybe the head. And she's busy using the side of her teeth again, as before. She is quite an eater, everybody. Well, she is Tingana's daughter, so he's an eater and a half. And, well, Tundi goes through a dacre no problem on her own in a very short space of time. And, well, in fairness, Kalamba's almost been with this dacre for 24 hours. It's coming to that point anyway. It was about, 5:30, 6 o'clock yesterday when she caught it. So, but she only started feeding probably closer to 7 o'clock. She was trying to perch it in the tree precariously. Hadn't fed on it by that stage. Now she's given up all hope of it perching in a tree, as she now enjoys what is left of it on the ground. I haven't even had a good look at the dacre since we've been here. It's just been covered by that little bit of grass. Lichen, well, there is a very good chance hyenas might come onto the scene, but a very small animal like that and a very windy afternoon make it quite tricky, really, for anything to pick up on the scent. And, well, she is in quite a sort of dense, thicketed area. There's nothing from stopping hyenas coming running in. It's possibly why she's been so alert. But if she opened the stomach and it was in the tree, it would have definitely given off a scent for the hyenas to chase. But maybe they are busy following up on the Unguhuma pride that are probably somewhere around where Trishala is with that Ovoka male, maybe trying to catch some scraps from that individual or from the pride, because I am almost certain they caught something last night, but then obviously never managed to find them. But we did find this beautiful youngster. She's busy ripping at it now, using the front of her teeth. As she pulls, probably quite a sinewy bit. Kimberly, she's doing fantastically well. I mean, I think she's a bit lonely, but, you know, the early stages of a leopard's life is the only real time that they will spend with company. And then as they get older, then they generally become completely solitary. Obviously, we've seen lots of interesting stuff with Hosana and Tingana, which is kind of a bit strange, but you know, she needs to gear for a life on her own, a life without her mum looking after her. Sorry, I'm just focused a little bit on an inchworm that has attached itself to my shoe somehow. Where did you come from, little guy? I'm going to put him on the dashboard. He's quite entertaining. There he goes. Quick sends before he runs away. These guys are so cool. Isn't he just gorgeous? He was attached to my shoe a moment ago, so we're going to watch him move inch by inch as he goes. Look how he blends right in. He's like, oh, I've been spotted. He looks very good on the canvas there. He's trying to figure out whether the canvas is edible. Yeah, he's more camouflaged than Tlalamba is, but I'll put him onto the grass or onto a little plancha where he will survive quite nicely. Don't forget, folks, it is an interactive Game Drive Safari. We'd love to hear from you. Send through any questions or comments you might have, and obviously try and keep your questions relevant to Mrs. Tlalamba for me, and hopefully we can answer them for you. It is really, really special to be able to spend some time with her, but this is the best view we've got at the moment. Hopefully she might move and then take that carcass back up one of these marula trees. I think that would be the best for her, especially as it starts getting later and the hyenas really will start getting on the prowl as they move around. But we've seen her up the tree. She is a very adept climber. But she is keeping very vigilant because she knows the risks. She knows the risks. She's seen Tundi many a time lose her kills on the ground. We do know that Tlalamba does have the strength to keep this one up the tree. Even when it was fully formed last night, she was very well able to move it around. It just had a very tricky sort of sticking ability. It didn't stay anywhere she wanted it to. Hence now why she is feeding on the ground. But we've seen Tundi do this many times as well. She drops the kill, or should I say maybe Tlalamba drops the kill, and then she feeds on it, loses a bit of weight. I found another beetle sense. It looks like one of the jewel beetles over here. He just landed on my box, and now he's on the dashboard. He's going to have a race with the inchworm. 3, 2, 1, go. Looks like one of the jewel beetles. I don't know which one exactly. They would probably look quite special underneath the microscope with those colours. They've got very nice sort of colours in the right light. Oh no, and here the rain is starting to fall. Pitter patter, you can see it there where the beetle is moving. Sorry about my head. Well, he's moving much faster than our little inchworm is. Okay, well, it seems like Isaac has managed to stay with his beautiful black rhinos. Let's go back up to the Mara and see what other interesting information he's got for you.
How wonderful, how beautiful it is. We have black rhino here. Yes, you are beautiful, and I'm so happy that I can see you on this Valentine's Day. This is a black rhino, and she's got a calf on the other side. I hope she will be able to show or to let us see the young calf. Very relaxed, as you can tell. She's closed her eyes as she's no longer worried about my voice, and that's what I actually intended. I didn't want her to be worried about me. It is wonderful to see this great creature because there are only a few left in Africa. I estimate even less than 5,000. So to see one and to be able to share it with you people, it is such a joy. Ellie, you love the horns. Yes, they are. Just love them and leave them where they are. I'm glad that you are enjoying. You can tell the texture of this beautiful female is full of mud. She's been wallowing, and that is typical of a rhino. They wallow to add an extra layer of mud that will act like sunblock or insect repellent. A very relaxed female. Once very widespread all over Africa, from sub-Saharan Africa all the way to southern Africa, but only Firebird, you ask me if female rhinos use the horn for anything. Of course, Firebird, they do use it. You have claws, we have claws, they have the horn. And so, in case of any threat, because they're always alone, they defend themselves using the horn. And you can tell, like this female, she's got a young one. Without the horn, she'll be very defenseless. So the horn is a very useful tool. So they use it for, she uses it to defend herself. And also, she does debark certain types of roots and barks from certain trees because she needs certain nutrients from those, those trees. So she uses the horn, for that purpose. So it is very useful. And without the horn, I don't think, she would be this healthy, because there are actually minerals that she can get from the ground, from certain trees that are only it's very useful, the horn. Okay, while I'm standing here, I'm not leaving. Let me send you to Trish, who's got beautiful baby hyena.
Oh, more like a mother-son pair going on here. And we've got Corky and Plonk at the new den side, of course, the new resort. I like to think of it as. It's kind of like a, plunge pool in the front, 2 entrances, maybe triple story. There's 1 entrance here and 1 entrance on the other side. And I think we have June coming in to say hello as well. I didn't have a good look, but I know that June and Corky... Oh, this is super interesting. So... let's just listen. Oh, guys, how amazing was that? So what you just saw was them were doing their kind of ritualistic mating, and not mating, the ritualistic greeting. And did you see the way that Plonk even reacted to her? Now, I didn't confirm that is June, but it definitely looked like her. Come on, let me have a better look at you. No, I didn't. There we go. You could see that she was suckling, so I think it is her. And she's quite a low-ranking female, so that would make sense. And you saw the way that she lifted her leg first, which is exactly what the low or submissive, hyena will do. Sorry guys, we're just reacting here to the rain that started to bucket down onto us. Let me just cover everything up. There we go. So Corky is of course the matriarch, so that's why she got the most respect there. And the behavior from the other hyena was very, very submissive. Even so to Plonk, even though he is younger and male, but of course he has inherited his mother's rank, which is why that greeting went the way it did. You could also hear her kind of giggling, or the typical hyena laugh, and that's often, it's not something that all hyenas do all the time. It usually indicates a nervous or submissive hyena, which makes complete sense. Julie wants to know what's happened to Pretty and her cubs. Well, Julie, as far as I know, or as far as I think, I don't think they've come back out from Little Gowrie from when we saw them move the first time. And it appears that Corky has moved out this way, and June has sort of followed her. And I wonder if June has done this because she thinks that her cubs might inherit a bit or might develop a better rank, or now that she's with Corky's cub, maybe it'll be influenced in some way. But she is quite a low-ranking female, so it's a very interesting dynamic. I'd love to know where Pretty is and what her cubs look like now, because they must be so grown. I mean, if you look at Plonk is so grown up as it is. He's all spotty. Now they're paying attention to something on the other side because... Okay, all is good. She's called Plonk back out. All is good. Look at Plonk. Doesn't he look a bit like a lanky, gangly teenager? Hey. They're coming right here. This is so sweet. Look at him. He's so close. Darby says he can't even see him. Hyena cubs are so inquisitive and so curious, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he comes along and starts chewing on tires. There he is, eh, you little scoundrel. Oh, you're all saying it's so cute. It absolutely is. I can't contain my excitement sometimes when I see Plonk. Hello, you sweet thing. He's always been so inquisitive. The other hyena who's been really, really kind of comes to the vehicles quite a bit is Tsaka. You know him, he's a male. Says, careful, they bite tires. They most definitely do. And sometimes they try to bite shoes, like I was saying Tsaka has done to Jamie before. And even at camp, if you leave your shoes out on your stoop in the night, a stoop is kind of your outdoor veranda kind of area, you will most definitely get some chew bites on it in the morning, as I'm sure Darby must have experienced a few times.
Yeah, I've lost it for 3 weeks.
Darby lost his shoe for 3 weeks, and then we found it somewhere. Was it on bushwalk or something? And then the other day, it was about 3 days ago, we were just chilling outside of camp, and not outside the gate, just outside of the rooms, and we just saw this hyena scurry past FC and out the gate. Very curious creatures. Check how you've grown, boy. Huh? The face of innocence. Are you all having a giggle at Darby's expense? Well, I have plenty of giggles at Darby's expense. Carol would like to know how long more Plonk will stay at the natal den. Well, Plonk is going to reach kind of a predicament. He'll be fully grown at about 2.5 years old, and he will have to make the decision to stay here and still be dominant, or leave this natal den and become a very low-ranking individual at a new den. But with that trade-off, it means that he will be able to mate. When he is in his den, he won't be able to mate in his natal den. And mating is the most important thing for a species, because it means they get to perpetuate their genes. And it is almost 90% likely that that's what Plonk will do. Here he enjoys the status of the Queen's son, Prince. I am going to stick around here and see exactly what they are so curious about. In the meantime, let's go to Isaac, who has some exciting stuff going on.
Yes, from your lovely hyenas, and now we have big bull elephant. Quite big difference, and he's just walking casually like he should, enjoying these Great Plains. I think he just stopped for a picnic. Maybe he's picked up a small bush to keep him going until he gets to the next one. I can tell this is a huge bull. He's quite a ways from us because of his size, the size of the trunk, the size of the tusks, the size of his forehead. That's how I can tell, he's a bull. And apart from that, if I look underneath his hind legs, I can tell, he's a bull. Yeah, and these guys, Laramo, yes, it is a beautiful background, and you only get it here in the Mara Triangle. It's such a beautiful scene. These huge guys reach maturity at the age of about 30, 33, and once they reach that age, most of what they do is walk from one herd to another, looking for females to sire future bulls like them. If they don't find females with estrus, they can keep walking long distances up to around 12 kilometers here in Maasai Mara. Of course, they have, yes, while, I stake out this point, let me take you back to David, who's got another big grey animal for you. Yes.
Well, I would say today is a day we would call a day of the big five, because I think Isaac earlier had a black rhino, I had a leopard, and I think either Vov or Trish had another leopard in South Africa. Isaac had just Ellis right now, and of course you got buffaloes right now. That comes to me as like the big five, and today I think is a good reason to celebrate Valentine's Day, having seen big five in both locations. I don't know what you think, Archie. Archie, you think we have done well for today? Well, this is the African Cape Buffalo, and it's a huge herd. And I'm only here because apart from seeing the buffaloes in the red oat grass, they might give me an indication where the sausage tree pride of lions would be. I mean, at the moment, we do not have any wildebeest. Or let me say in short, there's no any other prey that the lions in this particular territory would be going for, apart from buffaloes. Bring, you say they look so grumpy. Yes, and I'll tell you what, of all the big five we got in Africa, to me, this is one animal you have to be very careful of. You see that particular one there, you see how they tend to dig in the ground. I mean, he's not fighting anybody, but that's when they're preparing for war. Just look at the mud that he got on his horns. And definitely this is a male by virtue of having such a huge rack of horns. I've seen buffaloes, if you look in the middle of the two horns where they meet, I've seen buffaloes having small plants just growing. See what he's doing there? So they would easily pick any seed, from the ground. And when they go mud wallowing, as you can see him, he definitely must be in the mud at one point. So that particular seed will get some very nice soil chemistry, and then to get a bit of moisture when they go mud wallowing, and they germinate. I've seen buffaloes having small plants growing, like between the two horns where they are. So, yeah, these are animals you do not want to take chances with. And as much as they are grumpy, or they look grumpy always, it is very difficult to read a buffalo. It is very difficult to look at its body language and know when to fight or when to stop or when to fight harder. A buffalo, you will never understand it. Elephants, like what Isaac had, is very easy to deal with, and that's a cattle egret. I'm sure most likely she has had enough insects to eat courtesy of those buffaloes, and maybe she or they are now going to roost, because normally roost on top of trees before it gets dark. Beautiful flight, well done, very good camera work, Archie. Well, I think Tulamba is a hungry girl, and why don't we find out whether she knows how to use some silverware as she eats.
Well, David, I don't think she's that hungry anymore. I think she's just eating out of necessity. But the rain has returned, and, well, it is now coming down. That very soft sort of pattering rain that just wets everything. So Senzo and I managed to move a little bit of the vehicle so that we could at least alleviate the direction of the rain on the camera. But there's no other thing we can do right now except cover ourselves. I'm now under a big tarpaulin or a poncho, and Tlalamba seemingly unfazed by the rain. I think she's going, this is nothing compared to last night. Last night was very, very wet. She just hunkered down into a small little bush and waited for the worst of the rain to disappear. And I was amazed after Dave and I waited for probably 40 minutes. I remember suddenly turning my light on to see if I could find her, and she just popped up and went, "Hello, I'm over here, boys." And then we saw her go to the tree and climb up, but we missed most of it though. Trying to reposition in the rain with all the roofs on and all the canvases down makes it quite difficult to drive out here when you can't see. At least there's no lightning. Last night there was a lot of lightning, which can be rather dangerous. I'm just calling another vehicle in. They're just coming to join us here. So there we go. She can obviously hear the attention is coming through. They're just trying to position so they can see. They've also got their ponchos on. So anyway, while we stand here with the little princess and hopefully she decides to get up and maybe take her kill up the tree, let's go back up to the Maasai Mara, where for a change it seems we have the rain and they don't.
Yes, I am still here with this wonderful creature. She looks like she just started getting busy, and she's moving a little bit. The little one is up, and they are very, alert now. I don't know what mission they are on, but definitely, they've started like moving. Beautiful, look at that. I don't know what they are listening to, but definitely there is something. I don't know what it is. It's so beautiful to see a mother and young. It's one of those rare cases. You normally see one running across the road or quite a distance, but here I have two, very comfortable, very relaxed. You can tell where they are. There is a lot of food for them. There is wallowing points. You can tell they're full of mud, so they've been wallowing maybe earlier on this afternoon. So it's a beautiful spot, and this is the combination of everything that the rhino needs. It doesn't need only the browse, but does need, huge areas to roam with a variety of different leaves, plus water, plus wallowing points. That's what it needs, and this is perfect place for this huge, beautiful animal. Yes. It is one of those animals that you don't see every day. So when you see it, it is a special moment, and you can tell how the whole area looks like. It's just beautiful, just gorgeous. It's a pity that they've decided to give me their better side. I'm hoping that they're gonna turn. Look at that. I think they're giving us a photocopy of mother and young. How these are what I'm gonna be when I'm older. Look at that. Yes, we'll be enjoying the sunset soon. Look at that. Thank you for turning around. Did you hear me complaining? Look at that. Wonderful. I would just say awesome, awesome, awesome. Nancy, you asked me if elephants and rhinos get along. Well, Nancy, they have nothing to fight for. The only time I've seen conflicts between these two is in a watering hole. When there are cases of scarcity of water, then, I have seen an elephant trying to chase away the rhino, but otherwise they live in harmony. As you can tell here, it's a beautiful setup. We try and give you this kind of setup every day. Sometimes it's very hard, but I'm glad you're here, you're seated there, enjoying this beautiful animal, plus the background. Yeah, the young one seems to be very tired. This is, the second, I think this third time since I've been here, we have seen her go down and rest. So I don't know, maybe they've been running around the whole night. Okay, well, my rhinos look a little bit resty. Let me take you to some more resty hyena cubs.
Yes, well, the June's cubs are definitely tired because they haven't come out, even though she's sat herself right in there. Plonk has been following us around non-stop. We moved from that side of the den to this side of the den, and he just kind of crawled over, looked at us. As soon as we moved, he stuffed himself underneath Corky, which he barely fits under anymore, just to try and get a good look at us. Such a curious young man. There you can see that June has huddled herself in that spot right there. Looking quite... Oh, you look quite sad, June. Is it the weather? I know it's the weather that's making me a bit sad at the moment. It's definitely gloomy, to say the least. I was just saying to Davy, I wonder if it's going to be a repeat of last night, when I was happily at camp, warm and dry, and now it's me out here. Oh, June, go. I would say to you, please bring your cubs out, but I know the weather is horrible. Oh, yes. Wet anything at this point is not great. Luckily, I've got my rain jacket on. Ooh. I wouldn't want your cubs to come out and get soaking wet, would I? I can just imagine them sneezing, cutest things. We heard the little cubs saying the smallest, cutest whooping ever. But hopefully they'll do it again when we come back from Isaac, who's got the most gorgeous sunset for you.
Yes, sorry for you, Trish. I hope things are going to get better for you. Well, it's such a wonderful setup here. I didn't plan for this, but I think it's one of those days where you're just super lucky. Thank you for joining me. I would call it a rhino sunset. A rhino stroke Valentine's Day stroke beautiful sunset. I would call it that. It doesn't get better than this. Yes, I'm here with this beautiful creature. She's a bit dozy. I think, she went for pre-Valentine's party last night, maybe, and she's a bit very dozy. But all in all, I'm happy. Carl 6, you say wow? Yes, it is wow indeed. It is super wow. Have you decided to come and say hello? Yes, beautiful creature, look at it. Yeah, is the little one gonna go in front? No, they're always staying behind because they know their mom is the first line of defense, and so they'll always stay behind. Remember, this is a very dangerous animal, and I'm glad, we're, quite at a safe distance, and we don't have to interfere with any. Well, thank you for joining me. Let me send you to David with some beautiful awake lions.
Excellent. And I think today is one rather unique Valentine. Things have been going very well. this very afternoon, and we got the sunset there. I do not think is as good as what Isaac had, but just to see thorn trees, which are very iconic of the Mara, and the sun going down, it's still very special in its own way. I still want to say that's lovely, and that's the very end of the Olololo escarpment. That's where it ends. At that drop from there going forward, you end up to a country called Tanzania or Serengeti National Park. And saying it has been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, because we got another wonderful surprise in the next few seconds. If Archie will allow me, we're going to show you what we think will be a cherry on the cake, because I've been able to catch up with the sausage girls after almost 12 hours of search. And luckily one of them, the one moving there, is the very famous kinky tail. How lovely is that? She is the mother of all mothers, and we had missed her for a couple of days because we think she has been taking care of the cubs, her own cubs and Mitty's cubs. And this is super special. Now let me see how many girls I got here. I think I got 3 girls. That's correct. Did I see 3 or 4? I think they seem to be 3 at the moment. But most important, seeing Kinky is there are 4. Thank you very much. You say you love my heart and happy Valentine. It's that heart and the Maasai Shuka. Let me give you a little bit of a betango, and hopefully these lions will also tell you happy Valentine. Let's see whether that's going to happen. So of the 5 girls of the Sausage Pride, I got 4, and the good news is I have 1 kinktail. The mother, the one that I think that could be missing is Mitty. I'm not very sure, but I'm thinking maybe Mitty could not be here. Let's just have a look at them from a distance as they walk through or weaving through the red oatgrass. Look at that. Excellent. We'll be finding out where these lions want to go, but I think Isaac got a very special baby to show you.
Yes, it's such a wonderful thing, to always see the Sausage Tree Pride, and I'm happy for David that, he's found them finally. I'm still here with this female. She's all of a sudden, her demeanor has just changed, and she has decided to get a little bit agitated and walk quite fast. See that? This is typical of black rhino. When they move, the young one follows from a distance. This is typical of black rhino, and she's very wary. You can tell she's looking everywhere. If there's any threat, then she's the first one to be attacked. I think she's heard me, but don't you worry about me. She's at a very safe distance. If she decides to come, I will be able to get out of here so fast. Yes, it's a beautiful setup. It's always nice, to end the day like this. Beautiful backdrop of the Olololo Syria escarpment. Yes. Well, it's been a lovely day, and we've seen quite a lot. I'm very happy that you were here to join us, from the crocodiles to the leopards to the hyenas to the elephants and now the rhinos, not to mention a few of the other smaller ones, from my fellow guides down in South Africa, Greater Kruger, and David here in Maasai Mara, my cameraman Jay Andre. And from me, all I can tell you is goodbye and have a good evening, and see you tomorrow in the morning. Happy Valentine's.